Okay, today I got the Ridetech Tiger cage in. You can see there's the main hoop. There's the braces that go to the down into the trunk. There's the door bars, more braces for the trunk, and there's all the bolts and brackets, instructions. So what I've started doing is putting in the main hoop brackets, and I just got one side finished. So you have to remove some interior pieces, and you have to move the guard that covers the wiring harness. You have to remove the metal plate there, and it's good to take out. You got to take out the back seat so you can get into this area. You can see this is all original under here. Looks like it's never been taken out, but anyway, this is where all the measurements come off of. This 5/16 hole, and what this is, you actually have to drill from the bottom through the existing hole that is in the it's in the stock. There we go. It is the stock bracket. It's not going to focus. There we go. This is the stock location of the bracket that holds the rear brake line. So what you do, you take out the bolt that is in there. It's like a sheet metal screw. Ridetech provides this bolt. But you take all that out and you just take a 5/16 drill, put it into the existing hole, and continue drilling so it goes all the way through. So there's your pilot hole's already there because it's a factory hole. And then it comes out the top here, and this is where you mount. And then here's the seam, I guess. What do you call this? The lip, where the rocker, I guess, is pinched together. So you can see I scraped out all of the seam sealer to make it all smooth and flush. Then you got to drill 2 holes through there, and they provide you with a plate so you can pinch that seam there. And then you got to drill 2 holes down, straight down through the floor. And where those come out is on the part of the frame rail. You can see right there. Here's the frame rail. Let's see. Here's the frame rail, but that's the tab that is actually tack welded to the body. Let's see if it can focus here. There we go. And you want those bolts to come out of that folded over tab. So this one I did a really good job. That came through. This one was like half on the tab, half on the sheet metal, so I wasn't happy with that. But you got to understand, making it fit perfect on a old car like this, and none of these cars, no 2 cars were exactly the same. Everything is just slightly, within a 32nd or 16th of an inch. So I got it as close as I could, but that then they provide a bracket to bolt there, so you can pinch the floor pan, the tab of the frame rail together. And you're supposed to torque the 3/8 down to 75, and I think the 5/16 bolt to 50. But the reason I took the carpet up is because that bracket is now in there, and then when I put the carpet back, I can just cut a hole for my hoop. But if anytime I want to take the hoop out, I can easily just leave the bracket there, cover this up, and it's a stock, still a stock Trans Am. So there's no welding involved, and that's why I chose the Tiger cage for this original 70 Trans Am, because you have to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes. There's no welding, and it doesn't damage this car, other than these 5 little holes, which that's insignificant. Those can be covered up pretty easy with a welder ground down, and then they never existed if the car ever has to go back to stock. So you can see how I've started on the other side. I haven't drilled the holes here yet. I'm gonna have to stand on that to press it down. See how I got a little gap there? So when I stand on it, it'll simply just bend that little pinched seam. It'll just bend it forward just a little bit so it'll be flush with the ground. But you know, that's how you got to do stuff when you're bolting on stuff to these cars. Anyway, and put these in, then the main hoop goes in. I think it's 4 o'clock, and you know, I took my time and ate some pizza, and this took I think I started around 12 o'clock. So you know, if you don't dilly-dally around putting these in, reading the instructions and all that, it'll take 2 to 3 hours. About 3 hours. It's taken me 4 just because I like to measure twice, cut once. Anyway, more updates will come. Alright, this is after day 1 of the Tiger cage install. Got the brackets and the main hoop. I've just got it mocked up right now, and it fits really nice. I've just got it mocked up because I have to take it back out in order to mount the paneling back into the side of the car. You can see the paneling goes there and there. But yeah, comes up nice and close to the ceiling. Leaves a little gap here so the paneling can go back into the car, and it's pretty nice. This takes about 4 hours to install that. Alright, here's day 2 of the Tiger cage install. I have the bars, nothing's bolted in tight yet. I have the bolts loose so I can get the fitment right, but I have the bars that go down to the package tray, and you can see I cut some holes in my package tray, or you know, in the covering above it. I cut some little cardboard pieces out, and there's insulation under there, so I can work on that. Then I'm going to take that cardboard piece and put it back around there to make it look nice. The hard part is bolting these guys. You can see that those bolts right here, the ones on the back side, you know, closest to the rear of the car, this metal is very close. So you have to have the bolts pulled out in order to put the nuts on. You have to have them pulled out pretty far. That was very difficult to get those on. You can see over here, there's the front two, but then the back two, gosh, you can't even, you can barely see one right there, and then the other. Those are very hard to put in, but it's coming along. I'm going to try to put the door bars in, because I don't know at what stage I need to reassemble the sail panel, and I did have to make a minor modification down here. I had to cut the paneling to get it to clear the mounting bracket, but that's very not a very big deal. So I'm not sure what the correct order is in putting these panels in. I think actually I could have left, actually no, you have to take the panel out to cut it and to remove the you have to remove the cover plate that goes here to cover up the wire, so your paneling does have to come out. Anyway, I'm going to try the door bars. The door bars are here, and we'll see how that fits. Alright, here is day 3 of the Tiger cage install. Today I finished up the main hoop. The trunk is locked. Here's the keys. Let's So goes through there, got the interior all back together. Very, very tight fit, so which is really nice, but depending on where you put these brackets on your floor is going to determine your fit. And you can see I'm touching the paneling. So if I could do it again, I would have moved that bracket, you know, a centimeter farther. Well, I don't know if you can move it. Yeah, because there's a guide hole that's a factory hole. So anyway, that's where it has to go. This trunk is hard to open. Let me see if I can get it open. I'm gonna have to point the phone over here while I do this. Okay, I gotta stop the camera to open the trunk, but this came out really nice. I mean, that is in there so solid. It's like it's part of the car. These bolts, when they go through, these two go through the tab on the frame, runs right here, and the tabs that are spot welded on the side of the rear frame, these two go through that tab, and so do this one and this one. Very solid. See if I can get under there and show you. Okay, so there's our frame. Let me see if I can get this to focus. Okay, there's the frame. Now you see where those two bolts go through. See that little tab? That tab right along there is where the frame is spot welded to the body. So you want to drill those holes right through there. And same goes for the other side. There we go. See how those are also through the tab of the frame rail? That's how you want to install those. So when you drill the holes, you gotta drill them right. Luckily I got them the first time. So that's the trunk, and I've started on the door bar, and this is tough to get lined up. I've got one hole started. So let's see if I can move this back over. There we go. There's my hole right there that I've started. And you got to remove your kick panel because two holes are going to go through the sheet metal here, and you have to reach behind there and thread nuts onto the bolts that go into the side there, into the kick panel. Then you can put your kick panel back in before you put the door bar. And I tell you, the door bar is tricky to get it to line up correctly with the mount. You know, it took me 20 or 30 minutes of trying to slide these. The instructions say this needs to be 11. The base of this clamp should be 11 1/4 inches from the flange, mounting flange down here. Mine's actually a foot though, 12 inches. So you can see where I scuffed up the cage a little bit trying to, and those are just loose, they're not tightened, but you get the idea. And so it's coming along slowly. This is day 3, and looks like I'm gonna finish up tomorrow. So 4 days. Let's see, first and second day I did about 4 hours, and then today I did about 8 hours, and tomorrow I'll probably do another 4. So we're looking at about 20 hours of installation. and I had a buddy help me put all the bolts in for the rear of the car. But 20 hours is more realistic than the 6 to 8 hours that I guess if you had a buddy you could get it done in 6 to 8 hours or so. But anyway, I'll take some more pictures tomorrow. Alright, this is day 4 and the Tiger cage is complete. It took around 20 hours or so. Pretty difficult to install. You definitely have to have experience building hot rods. It's not a beginner installation. The hardest part was putting in the brackets to mount the door bars. But as you can see, it came out really nice. Got all the interior put back in. It's a beautiful piece of engineering, and all except for a couple of spots, it went in really smooth. I did have to enlarge this hole just a little bit with the die grinder. I had to do it on the other side too, just due to when you torque down the plate, the mounting plate that's underneath here. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, you can't. My carpet's back down. There's a mounting plate underneath here. When you torque it down, it, you know, moves things just a hair, and I didn't have this bolt in when I torqued the plate down, so it made this off just a hair, and I had to die grind about a ½ centimeter or so out of the hole for the bolt to go in. And you can see there's a lot of scuff marks where I was test fitting things. If you install one of these without scuffing it up, I just don't think that's possible. The way these clamps work, and you have to get everything lined up, you really can't install it without scuffing up the cage a little bit. But you can see the door bar. I was concerned about the stock paneling, but door panel. But you can see that door shuts perfect. And boy, I mean, it's just touching the door. So it's a super snug and precise installation. Ridetech did a really good job designing this. See how this one's shut. I haven't tried this one yet. Look at that. I mean, it barely just starts to touch. Perfect. Perfect. And it looks really nice. I mean, that's a really classy cage. Great for a track day car, you know. This car gets driven on the street every once in a while when I take out some friends and take them for a cruise. So this cage is perfect for a, you know, if you're going to do track days and you need some safety, but you still got a street car. Because, you know, you can undo this bolt here and over there and remove the harness bar. And then these door bars, I mean, it's easy to get it out of the car with that. There's nothing to squeeze into like a real roll cage. Anyway, there's the Tiger cage install. Thanks for watching.